Don't think about the how I could do these things that I want to do. Just answer the question, what do I really want to do with my time? What lights me up? What makes me happy? And if I had all of the money in the world, what would I want to do with my time and energy? Welcome to Truejectory, the podcast committed to helping you step into your true path, your purpose work. There is nothing better than being able to do what you love every single day and to get paid for it. I lived many years of my life working jobs that didn't align with me, and I know how rough that feels. I want to see as many people as possible stepping into the work that truly lights their soul on fire. This is your space to come and be reminded that you can create the life that you're dreaming of and to learn exactly how to do it. This is your space to be inspired by those who have been bold enough to follow their passions and have created their dream life because of it. If you're ready to stop playing small, stop holding yourself back, and start aligning with your trajectory, let's do it. Welcome back to the Truejectory podcast. I am so happy to be here today. This is the first episode of season number 2. So I had about a 2-month break just to sort of recalibrate, have a look back at, the prior conversations that I've had with these amazing guests and really hone in on what it is that I want to talk about. And so this season and moving forward, no doubt, I'm going to be focusing in more on purpose, really aligning you with what your purpose is, what it is that's been standing in your way, why you haven't been able to actually step into it yet, and why it's so important, in my opinion, for everyone to be in their purpose work. Like, this is something that lights me up so much. I know I've spoken briefly in season 1, but if you've just started tuning in now, quick little backstory about me. I used to work from age 12 to age 24. So 12 years, I worked in jobs that I really didn't like. And that's to be expected when you're young and when you're just starting off in, the working world. But that was also based on all of the scarcity mentalities that I had. So I would take jobs that were just great money. No, nothing exciting, nothing that was lighting me up, nothing that was aligned with my values or my passions. And so I ended up working in office jobs. And then I even ended up working in government for many years. And that's when I really started to find myself falling into depression and really had no great outlook on the future. And I know what that feels like, right? I know what it feels like to have your alarm go off in the morning and be like, do I really have to go back to this place? I know what it feels like to be counting down the hours, the days, the minutes until it's Friday afternoon, where you can finally go and do whatever you want to do. But then, you might have a good Friday night, you might have an okay Saturday, but as soon as Sunday rolls around, you're in hell again because you're going, oh, well, this day is tainted because tomorrow I have to go back and do it all over again. So that's the thing that I don't want to see anyone feeling. I hate thinking about so many people working in jobs that they don't like. And so my goal is to really show you that you can create the life that you want. You really can, no matter how cheesy that may sound. Your subconscious mind is a beast of a power tool, a weapon. Like, it's incredible the things that it can do when you use it right, when you understand how to program it correctly to be in alignment with what you actually really genuinely want. So we're going to make this happen. We are on the road already. If you've already started tuning in, then bam, step 1 done. Congrats. I'm excited for you. So I also want to just say that this season I do 2 episodes every week. I do a solo episode every Monday, and then I have a guest on every Thursday. And those guests are always people who represent what I'm trying to show you is possible. So they're people that have said yes to things that many people would say no to. They're the ones that have leapt headfirst into the things that have scared and terrified them because they knew that their passions and the dream life that they've been seeking was on the other end. They're people that have created the life that they were dreaming of. And I always get so lit up and inspired talking to these people because it always is, it's a reaffirmation, a confirmation for me and for anyone listening that really anything is possible. It doesn't matter what field you're in. It doesn't matter what your passions are. This applies to everyone. It's about owning your unique weirdness, your authenticity, and really honing in on what it is you actually want to do and asking those questions rather than just coasting through life and doing what everyone else is doing. Conformity is the biggest killer of dreams. Okay, so we're gonna eradicate that here. We're not going to listen to the word should anymore. Should do this, I should do that, I should be living my life that way. And we're not going to conform. We are going to step into who we really, truly are. We're going to own that. We're going to be so empowered by the fact that we are one of a kind, and we're going to find our purpose because of it. It's a magnet to us when we actually become the true, authentic self that we are. So that's my guest episodes. We have, they're usually about an hour long. My solo episodes, I'm going to try and keep them to the 15 to 20 minute max mark, because I really want you to be able to get like a quick dose, a quick hit every week of some new tools, some new hacks, some new insight, and all sorts of different processes that we can do, and just really be amplified by it. And I know that time is everything, right? And we're all very time poor. And well, I mean, that's one story that we tell ourselves anyway. We'll dive into that later. But I do want to keep these as short as possible so that they're just jam-packed full of value. So this first one, obviously, I'm blabbing on a little bit because I'm trying to explain the format and the setup that we'll be going through this season. But in future, we're just going to go straight into it. We're going to give you so much value, and you're going to come out going, okay, a lot of the time you're going to have some homework as well, if you're willing to take it on. It's totally up to you. You get out what you put in, right? So if you're really ready to start seeing some huge changes in your life, then this is your home. This is the place that you're going to start witnessing what you're really capable of if you're willing to put in the work. I'm also going to do some episodes that are going to be energy processes, meditations, visualization meditations. So you're going to actually be able to start using the power of your subconscious mind to start reprogramming the current paradigm that you have been living off into one that is completely aligned with your future. Sorry, I just paused there because I was like, what does that sound? I think someone just started up a motorbike, but for a minute it sounded like some weird thunder. Anyways, so we are talking today about why it's so important to identify your purpose. So why do you want to identify your purpose? Let's have a quick look at what the current model is that we've all, no doubt, at least, 95, 99% of us have been living off till today. So you get programmed from the ages of 0 to 7. You're just a sponge. Your subconscious mind is taking everything in without questioning or doubting or rejecting anything. And then from 7 to 14, you basically become a mimic. So you start mimicking everything you've learned for those first 7 years. So now you've got 14 solid years of programming from people who haven't necessarily understood that they have been programmed. And they're maybe telling you things like, it's really hard if you want to, making money isn't easy. You can't do what you love for a living. You got to just get through it. Your work is a grind. Every day is a grind. All of these sorts of stories. And you've just basically taken them on because that's what we do as kids. We just take it on. We believe what we're told. So we're programmed until the time that we leave home by stories of lack and fear, right? We then work jobs that we don't really like, until you find one that you can just stand. You can just put up with it. It's just, it's shit, but it's just okay. Not so shit that you can't actually do it. So you put up with it. Then, if you're lucky enough, you meet someone that you fall in love with, you have kids, and then that's such a beautiful thing, right? But if you haven't aligned yourself with the right job that's bringing you a decent income, that's, really amplifying your abundance codes, then you're now stuck with a lot of expenses. And so you're now feeling like you can't leave that job, and you start to feel stuck in that position for a lot longer than you'd planned originally. Then you sort of get to a point around middle age and older where you start looking forward to retirement, and you accept the fact that you'll just have to put up with this life that you didn't really choose until then. And you keep saying, when you retire, you keep telling yourself, that's when I'll be happy. That's when everything will be okay, when I retire. So then you retire at whether it's, 60, 65, 70, whatever. And you realize that you don't actually know how to relax or enjoy yourself because you've been programmed for so long to do things that you don't want to do. You struggle to give yourself permission to relax, to have fun, to explore. And your body isn't exactly in its prime anymore, so you start believing that you can't do what you want. And now you really are starting to feel stuck, right? This is where, for many people, depression kicks in. And the last years of your life that should be spent rewarding yourself after a lifetime of hard work and sacrifice is spent in a very unstable mental space, a very low vibration. And the other thing is you're now showing your kids and your grandkids that this is how life goes. And you constantly repeat comments like, oh, that's just the way life is. I'm sure we all know someone who, in their later years is just repeating that story. Oh, that's just the way it goes. Don't bother trying. Just, do the bare minimum and it's just the way it is, Success is only for the, select few. And these are all programs, again, these are all limiting beliefs and stories that have been passed down through generations. And we're going to stop that now. So this is one possible pathway, right? And it has been the most predominant one until now. But now we have more awareness and understanding. We're understanding the power of the subconscious mind and how to work with energy and universal laws. This old model now is no longer acceptable, okay? It doesn't matter what stage of your life you're at while you're listening to this either, at all. You can start steering your reality the way you want it to go at any time. The first step is to become consciously aware of where you're at so you know where you're starting from. Most people don't want to accept where they're at, so they're disconnected with their current reality. They don't want to look at the life that they've created because they know that it's not the one that they really wanted, and they're not where they thought they'd be by now. They thought they'd be further along. So awareness and acceptance comes first. It's such a big one. It's tough, but it's a big, really important step. You've got to be able to make peace with the fact that you are where you are, and that's okay. Be kind to yourself. You did the best that you could with the knowledge that you had, okay? So being kind, really having that self-compassion is so, so important here. If you're going to beat yourself up about everything, you're not going to have any motivation or will to move and try anything different because you don't even have your own back, right? So now we're going to amplify your knowledge and give you the tools to really start making huge changes in your life. So your homework for this week, if you are so willing, is to start sitting with the question, what do I really want to do every day? Don't let fear or your current reality enter this space. Don't look at the environment you're in and be basing your answers off of what you see. This is a space for your imagination to really run wild and let it just be free, okay? You probably haven't done this for a really long time, so see how it feels. It's probably a brand new experience for some of you. Don't think about the how I could do these things that I want to do. Just answer the question, what do I really want to do with my time? What lights me up? What makes me happy? And if I had all of the money in the world, what would I want to do with my time and energy? Keep in mind that this may change, right? We just need something to start working towards that truly lights us up. As we take action and get closer to this thing that we want, we may find out new things about ourselves that makes us want to pivot a little bit. The point is to start taking aligned action and learning how it feels to be moving toward a specific reality, a specific goal, whatever that might look like. Whatever that might look like, mate. So many of us have multiple purposes in our lifetime as well. Okay. So don't feel restricted or like you have so many things that you want to do in this life and you can't choose. You can do them all. We just need to create this mindset and skill within you and get you moving towards your first step. So, you know what I mean? It's just about really feeling into what one of those many different passions is really calling to you right now. And this is where meditation and really journaling, sitting with it, whatever sort of process you like to do, it's so, so important. Once you start seeing that you can do the things that you say you're going to do, and then you start seeing the progress, the game's over. You've won it. You start going, oh my gosh, what can't I do? And that's when your confidence starts to get really bolstered and you start backing yourself and you start becoming unlimited again, which is your actual nature. That's your nature, to be limitless, to be all powerful, to be completely able to create whatever reality that you see fit, anything. It's only our doubts and our limiting beliefs that have held us back for this long. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode and I hope you're getting a lot of value out of it. I would love to ask you to take just a couple of seconds out of your day to please rate and subscribe this channel. Whether you're on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, whatever streaming platform you're on, if you could take a couple of seconds to just rate and subscribe, I would be so, so, so grateful. That's going to really help us get our reach out a little bit further. It's going to help the amazing messages from my guests be heard by a larger audience, and we're going to be sharing a lot more perspective and advice and inspiration for those people who really need to remember that they can and will own and co-create the life that they want. And I want everyone who feel stuck in their job to be able to have a safe space to go to be reminded that you can 100%, you can get the life that you want. You can create it. You just need a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration. And that's what I hope to provide here on Truejectory, the podcast. So please rate and subscribe. Thank you so much in advance. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have a beautiful day or night, depending on where you are. Mwah. Thomas Carlyle has a beautiful quote. It says, "A man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder." Imagine you're a ship, right? And you've been without a rudder for so long. You've just been going with the movement of the tides, not really questioning, but definitely not feeling completely fulfilled. You sort of feel like you're just doing what you're told to do and just going along with it. Imagine you have, anywhere from 5, 10, 20 stops that you want to make in your lifetime. What we're doing right now is attaching a rudder to your ship, and we're teaching you how to steer it. And once you have this skill, you can stop at any port that you wish. The sky's the limit. Oh, the ocean's the limit. So take some serious time to write out all of the things that you want, and then have a look at that list and work out what you want to move towards first. How would you most like to spend your days at this point in your life? Remembering, if you have multiple passions, and I feel you there, I have so many passions. This is something that's held me back for so long, going, well, I can't do all of these things, so, and I get overwhelmed, and, I'll try and do the beginning of 17 different things, and then I feel like I'm not making any progress, and I get really disheartened by the whole process. So it's just understanding that you still can do all of these different things that you have passion for, but you might need to just figure out which one is calling to you loudest right now. And, even within a day, just say you want to start a business around a new product that you've got in mind that you want to create. But you also like to create music, and you also like to work with kids on weekends and do other projects. There's so many different things that you can do in a day, right? It's just also about scheduling your days, and we will get to that later on throughout this season, understanding how to best use your time and the energy that you have at certain different times of the day. But just by sort of picking one of these passions to move towards doesn't mean that you've discarded all the other ones. It just means that you might have a little bit more time designated each day to this one first thing. And also understanding that this first thing, once you really get into it, and once it starts to take hold, and once it starts to take shape, and you start to see the progress from it, and you start to, receive money from it, and you start to make a life around it, that one thing will actually be the vessel that will free you to be able to explore these other passions. So they all play hand in hand. So it doesn't mean that you have to cut them all out, okay? So it doesn't mean just one and nothing else. Just for now, figuring out which one is really calling to you. Which one could you not live without at this point in your life? And enjoy the process. You're creating the mold that your new reality will begin to fit into. A great quote by Earl Nightingale says, "Before steel is cast into a mold, that intended receptacle has to be created." Another way to look at it is the foundations are being built before a building is assembled within it. You're creating the foundations of your new life blueprint, your brand new paradigm. And we're going to talk a lot about paradigms in this season, because it's really important to get your head around what exactly a paradigm is, what your previous paradigm has been. That's the thing that's created the life that you have now, and how to then shift your new paradigm to create the exact life that you're dreaming of. Anything you can imagine, you can create. Be really kind to yourself and let your imagination run wild. Please let it run wild. Who's stopping you? No one can hear you. This is all just in your head, right? So get that childlike curiosity and imagine all of the big, beautiful things that you really want. That's where the whole process begins, in the mind. We'll get into the next steps in the next solo episode. So enjoy this process. I wish you all the best of luck. Have so much fun with it. If you do want to dig any deeper, get in touch with me. I do have a lot of amazing content coming out this year for people like yourself who really want to step into their purpose, right? I have free purpose mapping sessions that I'd love for you to come and join me do. We have a 1-hour chat together. It's all online, so you can be anywhere in the world. And we're really honing in on understanding what distortions have been standing in your way, understanding how we can shift your current paradigm into the new paradigm. We do a little bit of healing work. There's some teaching, there's some processes, some meditation. It's a whole lot of fun. So that's something that you can jump on right now if you want to If you're really ready to take that next step now and you want someone to support you through that process, jump onto my Instagram at Sarah Louise Maxwell, one word, or at Truejectory, one word. Either one of those you can find me, DM me the word purpose, and we can start chatting. But until the next episode, I hope you really start understanding and believing that you deserve to live the life that you love every single day. That is your birthright. Don't forget it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay true. Mwah.